Hi, this is Sai Morton with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts, and important levels on the forexbsummit.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit forexbsummit.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Greetings everybody. Today guys we have decided to take a look at the Australian dollar against instead of the gold market, because on the gold market actually we have discussed major issues that stand right now there within the last week, and in general the picture stands very common to euro currency, since market stands at important resistance. I mean the gold market is at 1306, and the further action will depend on the breakout. So if market will break it up and return back to the tops around 1360, 1380 area, if it will fail there, then probably the downward action will be established. And mostly this will depend, I think, on the results of the event. So this will become the major driving factor. At the same time, yesterday when we have talked on the euro currency, we said that our sense is that upward action probably will continue on the dollar-related assets and the currencies, I mean the euro currency and other assets. And we said that we see interesting setups as an Australian dollar, as a New Zealand dollar. And just to confirm that, just to show you what really we see, we have chosen the Australian dollar. Another reason of that choice is that, as you know, the Australian dollar is the gold-related currency. Since it stands in a tight relation to the gold market, that's why the analysis of the Australian dollar simultaneously will shed some light on the gold analysis. As you know, we mostly suggest that Trump will take the victory in the elections, and that's why that led us to take a look at the current situation on the financial market from that standpoint. On the high time frames, especially on the weekly chart, we see bullish patterns are forming right now on the Australian dollar. And if you would like to know more about it, you probably could read our weekly research where we talk on the monthly chart, on the weekly chart. But even on the daily chart, we see some interesting picture that also suggests the upward breakout on the Australian dollar. Another reason why we're talking about the Australian dollar, because we think that the Australian dollar has really big advantage compared to other currencies, because Australian dollar has very healthy interest rates. Economy in Australia is self-sufficient economy, so they have very moderate government debt. It has very highest the credit rating. So if some risk will come as a result of the elections, the Australian economy and Australian dollar could become very attractive safe haven. Besides, it could become another center in an Asia Pacific region and with the English-speaking population. So it's really important stuff. And we think that in case of the rally against the United States dollar and many assets, the inflow in the Australian economy will be greater than in any other, and that's why it could show really significantly larger swings to the upside. I mean, Australian dollar compared to all the others. That is commonly, in general, why we're today we choose an Australian dollar discussion. So now let's take a look at the short-term picture that we have. As you can see, on the daily chart, we have huge butterflies forming with the targets approximately at 80 even area and 82.20 approximately, or 82.50 area. So right here, the two targets. The first destination point that is coming from the monthly analysis, it stands approximately at 81. That's the nearest target on Australian dollar. And so in general coincides with the butterfly destination point. Also, guys, besides of this butterfly, we see very interesting action. So take a look. That market is challenging and struggle against the 78 level, but every time the pullback becomes smaller and smaller. That was the first test, deep pullback. second test, minus less pullback, and again final pullback here was very small. As you can see, market is keeping this tendency of the higher bottoms. This line even could be starting from that point, as you can see, but challenging of the same 78 level. It means that this some kind of the bullish dynamic pressure, because the power of the bears is vanished by the pulling back the market. So here was the strong bearish power that pulled market down. Here, as you can see, that bearish power has become weaker and it was not able to push market as low as it was here. So you can see, in fact, the bearish power is housing with this lasting struggle around the 78 area. And it was turning in this tight range, while the bullish power is growing since pullback every time becomes smaller and smaller. And we think that this is indication of coming breakout through the 78 area. This is some kind of the bullish combination. We see some other signs on the weekly chart, as I said, but this stands beyond of this video, so because this is mostly dedicated to very short-term perspective. On the intraday chart, guys, on the forward time frame chart, we will be watching for in the beginning of the week for this Gardius triple to buy pattern. So we can, as you can see, first up, ABCD retracement, upward continuation, and this leg up, market has completed minor 618 extension of this A, B, C bottom pattern, 618 extension. Now some minor retracement probably could happen, but if market indeed bullish, it should not drop below 76 area. So we have two levels to watch for. First is the confidence support 7640 area that's combined with the weekly pivot point. Second level 76, 618 support, this weekly pivot support one, and also here we have the monthly pivot point. So take a look, monthly pivot point 7615. It's right here. So if market indeed bullish, and if it really suggests a further breakout, market should not drop below it. In general, daily picture, daily bullish setup will fail if market will drop below these lows, and if it will break the sequence of these high bottoms. So market will drop here. This will be probably the end of this bullish tendency and will maybe cancel it totally or postpone for a longer period. This will be a very important moment. So, but on the forward time frame chart, we could get the early alarm of this possible event. So normally, if market is really bullish, it should not drop below the 618 support, because this just minor target has been achieved. It will be even better if market will stop retracement right here, just to show the bounce to the 7640 and reestablish the upward action. That will be just perfect. But this retracement also is acceptable. At the same time, no breakout through it should happen. If this will happen, this will be early information, early signal that something is wrong with this upward action, and it makes us take the pause and take in any long positions if this drop will happen. So that being said, currently in the longer term perspective, we see the bullish signs on Australian dollar, especially in the light of the coming elections and our expectation of the Trump's victory. And in the beginning of the week, we mostly will be watching for action around 7640 and 76.7 area. So market should hold above it to keep bullish sentiment and to keep overall setup that we have just discussed. If market will drop below 76, don't be long. So wait for more clarity, wait for a development of the situation, because dropping below 76.7 could become the first sign and market could drop even more. That's why this is some kind of the short-term edge, this crucial point that we should keep an eye on.